So I think I found the best travel combo that I can recommend to just about anybody. It's a great setup for just about any sort of circumstance you could ever want. This is a 28-liter Cotopaxi Allpa that you can find any outdoor retailer or Amazon. So link in the description to this one. And this is the latest edition, which has some pretty cool improvements, and combined with the Voyager duffel that I reviewed a few weeks ago, but I'll show you a new color that matches this green perfectly. Now I'm gonna show you the 28 and the 35-liter Cotopaxi Allpas side by side, so you can make a decision on which one is the best for you for packing. For a single bag, you might want the bigger 35-liter, but for just a nice combo, you might like this 28-liter for weekends. And then when you need to, load up, you get out the duffel from North Face. So let's go over it. Let's talk about traveling like a pro, looking good while you're doing it, and really in a combo that you can find anywhere for a pretty good budget price. Let's get to it. In this video, I'm going to compare and contrast the layouts of the Allpa 35-liter and the Allpa 28-liter from Cotopaxi. These are readily available designs that you can get in most places, including Amazon or local outdoor retailers. REI, for example, carries Cotopaxi, at least apparel. I think they carry the bags too. Either way, the best travel pack combo that I could come up with, that is something you can get anywhere, and it's a combo that I see a lot of, but in this color, it's just super cool, is this Allpa 28 in this color, green. I'll put the actual technical color here, along with the North Face Voyager base camp. Did a review of the base camp a couple of videos ago, so I'll put a link to that one over here. You can go back and look at not only this duffel, but a couple other duffels. But this combo right here, I think, is really great for a lot of capacity. 28 liters here, 42 liters here, more than enough to get you going for a really, maybe a week-long trip. I think a 28-liter bag is really a weekender, weekend plus, long weekend size, depending on how you pack. 35 liters is basically a week-long trip. Again, depends on how you pack, how much stuff you bring, that kind of thing. But anyway, you add a duffel and you just add a lot of just overhead storage capacity that you can just put a bunch of packing cubes in. I'm not gonna really spend any time really on the duffel, but I just wanted to tell you, if I had a recommendation for a do-it-all combo, this is it. Go weekends, go longer, go even, just whatever. 28 liters, 42 liters, a ton of space. Now, I'm gonna dive into the middle of these bags, which is the true genius of it, but I wanted to get some quick comparisons out of the way, just so we can kind of get it out of the way. Now, for the 28-liter, some comparison bags like this GR1 26-liter single compartment versus what we'll see over here, very, very similar in terms of dimensions. They're almost identical, with the Allpa just being about an inch and a half deeper to just give you that extra 2 liters of space. Another very similar bag, of course, this is the Griffin edition, but the Evergood CTB 26, also a very comparable bag in sort of size, very identical in terms of loadout capacity. Now, again, they're just going to be internally totally different, but just just showing you side by side some very comparison bags. For the 35-liter, of course, you could go GR2. Evergoods has got their 35-liter, and of course, this is the GR3 from GoRuck. Also a very comparable bag in capacity. The Allpa, though, is a much deeper bag that just gives you a lot more space. Fits deeper on your bag, but they're pretty much all the same at about 22 inches tall for all those bigger bags. It's pretty cool on the Cotopaxi website. They list this as personal item size, so that means it goes under your seat, and then carry-on size, meaning overhead size. So that's how they kind of differentiate these two. These bags are obviously just size difference. And again, one little pro tip, these are the newest editions, which have this front pocket. So if you're looking at something online and it says it's going to be on sale or it's special price, it may be the older edition of these bags, which again are everywhere. And so if it doesn't have this front pocket, it's not the newest design, which is cool. In fact, I actually did order one of these in that older design, didn't realize it at the time. Very nice bag, but I wanted the latest edition so I could show you how they look. Now again, front pocket, I'll get into the details, but the only real differences besides the obvious size difference, we'll see it on the back. The 35 liter has a different hip belt. Let's say this one is weight bearing. Now both of these hip belts are attached to the bag, can't remove them, but they both stow very nicely and compactly. This one is just a thicker webbing strap on the 28 liter size. On the 35 liter we have a wider weight bearing style hip belt. Both of them stow very nicely on the inside back panel, so they're not going to be in the way if you don't decide to use that. And to be honest, in transit I'm probably not using the hip belt very often. The only time I'm using that is if I'm going to be, it's on my back for a long period of time, maybe all day, and I got to my destination internationally, can't check into my hotel for a few hours, gotta wear this thing all day, so then I would probably get that thing out and put it on my hips. The other difference is on the 35 liter, they have these little buckles that allow you to disconnect this strap, stow the bottom, and there's a sleeve in the top that allows you to stow that thing. So when would I use this? Well, in the very rare circumstance that you wanted to just check your bag and you didn't have a lot of obviously the things that you can't check, or it's basically a gate check scenario. So you get there and hey, do you want to gate check your bag and you don't want to touch it, you want to throw it in the overhead, go. This thing's going outside now, but the straps wouldn't get hung up on things. So you could also just use this if you were just kind of carrying it around, to stow the straps to keep them clean, or really just prevent them from getting hung up on things as you put in overhead bins or carry it to the train, whatever. But just a nice little detail that the 35 liter adds, the 28 liter doesn't have. More, personal item size. But regardless, those are really the only main feature differences. Now we both have water bottles, which is nice. They both will hold up to 1 liter, they say. I've got the bigger 36 ounce Yeti in this one. It's just a bigger pocket. I did have a 1 liter Nalgene in here, but I think this 18 ounce Yeti just fits a little easier in and out for day-to-day carry. Before we dive onto the inside, again, other than that, we have a 840D TPU coated on the front of both these bags, and then a 840 nylon on the outside, which is cool. All fully 100% recycled materials, which is great. Now the colors you can go totally nuts with. They've got really crazy colors. I do kind of like this mostly green with some little color accents, just a little pop on this one. This one's, of course, stealth black, which is also really cool. Now again, these newer versions all have top pockets, cell phone, AirPods, maybe some sunglasses in those front pockets. And then they both have a top area pocket, which is very sizable. And sizable, in this size, I have a full, look at the size of this thing. This is a GR2 size field pocket inside that top big pocket. Over here is, I would say, a GR1 sized. Actually, I'm not even in my pocket. I'm in the main compartment. What am I doing? I'm lost. There we go. Inside this pocket, it's big enough for a GR1 size, so GR2 size field pocket over here, GR1 size field pocket in this pocket. But for me, and this one is more in my standard pack out for a weekender, and so I have the Evergoods Cap 1 in here with plenty of room to spare. Now also inside of both these pockets, I'll just push down, we have a zip pocket, which is really nice, and there's an internal key loop in there as well. So that's, passport stuff that you don't want to fly out would fit in there nicely. And again, it's not 100% packed out. Inside here, again, same thing, internal zip pocket on this big, huge front, a lot of capacity, big headphones, you name it, it's gonna go in that front section. Another little detail that's found all over this bag are these little loops, which, what are those loops for? Well, theft deterrent loops. you put those loops through here, or your zipper pulls through the loops, and it just prevents anybody from grabbing and quickly getting into that thing. They gotta feed it under the loop to get actually into it. So it's just a little on-the-go theft deterrent system. Now the main compartment zippers on both these bags are lockable, so you can put a lock in there, which is really nice. And again, we'll get into that main compartment here in a section, but just the fact that they have those little pulls, which is really nice. And that includes the laptop pocket on both these has a more prevalent zipper pull, so no one can get into your laptop compartment and steal that bad Joni. Laptop compartments for these two bags, very, very similar as well. There is a very soft lined pocket on the inside. This one's up to a 13-inch MacBook Pro over on the 28 liter and up to a 15-inch MacBook Pro or laptop on the 35 liter. The rest, there's another bigger section, so you can put something way bigger on the inside of there. It's just not inside the sleeve, but it is all lined. It's just not protected, so it's not going to be elevated like this elevated internal one in there. So nice little detail for both these bags. And again, over here, ta-da, same thing. Handles, sides, top, bottom, so you're covered no matter how you handle that. Now, I got little kickstands, little power bricks under these. They don't, so they're not standing all that well. Maybe if you packed them out a little bit deeper in the bottom, it would be a little bit different story. But in my case, they just didn't stand very well. So there you go. Now, let's see, talked about that, the front, the back, all that stuff. Let's get out the water bottles, take those out, and dive into the inside of the bag so we can see really the genius of these designs. Before I do that though, I would also tell you that these air mesh paddedness, very, very comfortable bags, the 35 liter and the 28 liter, fully loaded, wear them around in my test videos, getting all these cool shots, comparing the two bags. It's just that they were very, very comfortable. I can see no problem going all day travel with these based off of what you see here. Sternum strap included, and very comfortable harness system overall. No load lifters, but you really don't expect that in a mass-produced kind of bag for travel. Now, getting into the main part of these bags, because they're both sizable, 35 liters, 28 liters. I just do like this TPU coated. Very, very, very good. Now, what I will tell you is both of these open the same in terms of, they open like a book clamshell. Instead of like the GoRuck ones or other ones that just kind of open up vertically, these open like a book. So we'll open them up both together so we can kind of show you what is the same and what's different. Mostly just the size capacity. But we have two main areas. We have a main area, the back of the bag, and in the front of the bag. Now both of these are completely encapsulated, so the cool part about that is when you have it sort of together, you end up with another little area in between those two zones, where this is where I'm going to pack my jacket, just because then I can just unzip it a little bit and rip out my jacket for whatever conditions they change, get colder, or if I'm wearing the jacket, I can just jam it in between and it's all good to go. Now, mesh everywhere so you can see what's in each compartment throughout whichever bag you're using. Awesome. There is a main compartment, like I said. On this side, we have two zones. The upper zone is sort of a flex area, and really this whole area is just a flex area. More about that in a little bit. In the bigger bag, I have just 3 big packing cubes. The 10-liter packing cube from GoRuck fits in there, and that's how deep this main compartment is on the 35-liter. On the 28-liter, that one wouldn't work. However, you could open up the 10-liter, split it this way, and fit it in there. And so that'd be another way you could carry your bigger packing cubes, open them up, and carry them there. This section here is just less deep. I'll show you what I have here in a second. But the bigger packing cubes, if you're in the 35-liter zone, boom, you are good to go with your biggest packing cubes. And I have 3 big packing cubes jammed in there. On the other side, well, let's just go to the 28 liter side, main compartment. The cool thing I have in here is basically, my favorite go-tos. The Peak design, this is a medium and a small, fit perfectly. This is, that's just the perfect setup right here. And on weekend mode or a few days, I typically have 1 medium size and 2 small ones, so that's what I have in here. But just wanted to show you that in the 28 liter Allpa, the Peak design packing cubes, like a squarish one and then the other rectangular one, all fit perfectly. So if you got a packing cubes that are similar, Amazon's or others, that's how it's going to work. Deep enough for a typical packing cube in the 28 liter Allpa. On the other side, we have, again, very similar, but it's a flex space. Flex space because that big pocket that we saw on the front of the bag is actually in the top, and it can kind of impede. So you have some choices. You could not pack a lot in that front pocket, pack maybe taller things in here, or leave that area up front so you can pack stuff in there and then just not use that area. Now again, at the bottom I have a packing cube, 2 packing cubes here just vertically, and then I didn't put any a taller item into this other section, but in this zip section up here we just have 2 things. Again, whatever you're going to put in here, you could just go nuts. A lot of room in there for however you want to lay that out. And again, down here is this front pocket that's on the outside of the bag. So there you go. On the 28 liter side, again, another medium sized or small Peak design packing cube, and then I have a GoRuck Echo sized field pocket. That's just the perfect layout of dimensions. And on this side, going for just a weekend, my DOP kit is typically about this size. Take out a few things that I would use for a longer trip. That thing just fits in there perfectly. We still have the top pocket, which I didn't put anything in here. Maybe a charging brick, all your charging cords could go in there. And again, this pocket goes all the way to the top, so if you weren't going to use that front pocket, you can put some other stuff, jam it all in there, which is just a really cool design, if you ask me, for this. At the end of the day, you've just got to come to terms with how you're going to pack in either of these bags. It is different than a single compartment, say GR1, GR3, because you've got these different zones. But if your packing cube choices are similar to what I've shown you here, then this one is a really just solid design. Of course, in this one, we've got different colored zippers. Black's just all black, so go to town, pick a color that works for you. I do like the just pop of color. It just helps you stay organized and quicker to grab and access things if you're gonna be on the go. So yeah, I haven't tried a lot of mass-produced bags from some of the other companies, but I'm seeing while some of them are really good. And honestly, this was kind of a no-brainer to see and try because I see these everywhere. And I see the crazy colors, but I'm not so like crazy about the crazy colors. This is about, I think, as crazy as I get personally, with some little accents, which is really cool. I do like it. And to be honest, this is, like I said, a 1-2 travel combo that I can totally get on board with because, again, I'm a fan of the horseshoe fully opening duffel bag. I think the green on these two works out close enough. And again, you can get these anywhere. These are not special edition bags. You can get them really anywhere or online for a really decent price. I'm sure you'll be able to get these for Black Friday prices. I know if you're an REI kind of person that, that 20% off coupon they put out several times a year, get yourself some of this stuff. It really is, it's not budget. It's solidly built. In fact, the Cotopaxi stuff has got a lifetime guarantee. So if you're unhappy with it, contact them. I haven't had to go through that process yet because these bags are all brand name. But I do plan to travel in them. And this combo right here, I think, is a true winner that I would recommend to anybody because it's awesome, solid, nice. Boom. So there you go. That's what I think
And again, just a great travel combo, some great colors. You can really go nuts with all the Cotopaxi stuff. I do like the way it lays out. It looks great. I see it all the time at airports, and you know, for you it might be perfect. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Lots more coming soon. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the outdoors. I'm enjoying the last few days before all these leaves come down in Georgia. You know, what's going on where you are. All right, see you in the next one.